Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad y'all are here on this Friday night. I'm here with Jay and Jill with Patriot Fitness, and thanks for letting me come over and do this.
Thank you, Warren. It's we're happy to have you here.
So what I wanted to do today was come over because I was here for the grand opening or the re-grand opening. And, I thought it would be pretty cool to come over and get your story on how this all came about and about you and, what your future thing is you want to do with this and other stuff. So, let's get started. So just kind of introduce yourself and where you start out, where you grew up, and go from there.
Well, my name's Jay Hoffman, and I grew up on the east side of Cleveland, Cleveland, Ohio. Lived in Cleveland for about 40 years, actually.
Yeah.
And been down here now 15 or so.
Okay. Was it a rough area or is it more?
No, it was a suburb similar to this area.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, not as ritzy or anything. But
it wasn't that side of Ohio. It was that like steel and stuff, or not really.
That was more downtown Cleveland.
Yeah.
That was where most of the industry and more west side of Cleveland. East side was more office buildings. And, more white collar.
Okay.
On the east side.
Okay.
Yep.
Brothers, sisters?
No, from my parents, I'm the only child.
Okay.
My dad, he has two girls, which would be my half sisters.
Yeah.
They're quite a bit younger than me though.
Okay.
16 and 18 years younger.
All right. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Brush High School. I was in Lyndhurst, Ohio.
And after you graduated and everything, did you go to college anywhere?
I did. Went to Cleveland State for 3 years, and I was there a little too long. It wasn't for me.
Yeah. I was similar. I went one semester where I had a scholarship. Then my parents moved, and I went to Alabama and put myself through 2 semesters. And then it was like, you know what? I was working for 3 companies and then going to school at night. And I was like, you know what? Screw that. I can't do it. Yeah. I was smart enough to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I didn't enjoy it very much. And I was pretty much doing it to make my family happy.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about me at that.
Yeah. When you went there, was it just mainly just studying general stuff?
General studies.
Yeah.
I was planning on going into some type of business, marketing, but I never made it that far. It was I wasted about probably I'd have to say 3 years. I could have done a lot of things in those 3 years.
Yeah,
for sure. But I was young and didn't know any better.
Yeah. When have you always been a fitness guy, or
I played sports all my life?
Yeah.
Since I was walking, and my dad and I'd be throwing the baseball. I'd be hitting the baseball between baseball and basketball and racquetball. And, I mean, I played all
just
sports,
just whatever there was something to do, you did it.
I loved sports. That was my first love, really.
Yeah.
Sports.
Well, what was your favorite?
Man, that's tough. That's a tough one. Probably my favorite to play I would say basketball, but my best, I was a fantastic baseball player.
Yeah.
And that's probably where I should have focused a little more on. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we do have that in common. I mean, that's what I went to Palm Beach Atlantic for, and then decided, me and the coach didn't get along. And
played baseball?
Yeah, played amateur league in Birmingham. They had an amateur, and they have my buddy still plays in it. They have an over 40 wood bat league
really?
in Birmingham.
Oh,
They play at the old, like, remember the old, what was the Black League? What were they? I forget. Anyway, they still have some of the old stadiums there. Yeah. In Birmingham, they still have some of the old stadiums. And so they play a lot of those games there. So it's pretty neat. I got more involved with baseball when I moved there, and then, played that, and then didn't get picked up. My parents couldn't really afford to send me to college, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I was good enough to get looked at, and that was about it. Yeah. So what did you do in Ohio? When did you say you moved down here?
I moved down in 2010.
Okay, so from the time you graduated to 2010, kind of work, just what kind of work did you focus, just whatever could pay the bills?
No. Actually, okay. This is kind of like my third career, actually.
Okay, okay.
So, fresh out of college, I went and my dad got me this job with a friend of his selling tools, selling like machinery tools, like different. I can't remember really, but like, it was. I would have to go into these factories and I have to try to get their jobs. Yeah, I was more or less a salesperson. Right. And I didn't like it. It was very tough. I mean, as a young kid, you're going and talking to these old guys. You're trying to get into these companies, trying to get these big jobs, which was tough. So, that was short lived. And then I told my dad, he had a scrap business. I said, why don't I just come work for you? Yeah. And so that's what happened. I ended up, I think I was around 22 or so. Yeah. When I started working for him. Okay. And then I did that for 14 years. I was in the scrap business. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. 14, 15 years. And then when I got down here, I got in the car business. You stayed for another 14. Stayed the salesman route. Yeah. And then I did that for what was it? It was about 14 years, right? 13, 14 years on and off, and then this came about. Okay. So before we get in that, one, how long have you and Jill been married now? We've been married. Or how long y'all been together? We were married at end of 2022. So what is that, like 2.5 years now? Yeah. And we've been together since 2011. Okay. All right. So we've been together now, almost 13 years? Okay. Almost 13 and some change. I mean, I kind of remember that because, we can ask, Jill can talk about where she grew up, which I know her, but, I kept up about y'all through my sister. So Amber, some kid got kidnapped. So, before we get into how you came, so where'd y'all meet? How'd y'all meet? The gym. And that here? I mean, in Sarasota? Yeah. So, how long have you been over here? 2002. That's when I got divorced, or it was final. 2002. Yeah. Okay. And then y'all met in a gym. The gym. Okay. Right down the street from here. Oh yeah. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. Yeah. We'd see each other at the gym, and we spoke back and forth. Yeah. Well, I mean, right. Experiences, both divorced, both a little scared. Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to get back at it for 23 years now. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. So, now, I mean, you always been in fitness. Have you ever bodybuild for showing in that time before you got this? I mean, had you done any of that or? Actually, no. Yeah, we've been, I don't know, Jill, how long have you? 1992. So 92. No, 93. And I started around 1995. Okay. So it's been about 30 years for me. I've never competed in a type of bodybuilding competition, but it's funny that you ask because I'm competing in my first one this August 23rd, down in Punta Gorda. Yeah. So I'm approaching 16 weeks out from it. So I'm really getting into the prep here. Well, and the reason why I brought that up because I remember somebody telling me that when I was here for the grand opening. So I remember, so
So when did this come about? Is it something you want to have your own gym, or just some circumstances happen and it kind of triggered your mind to say, you know what?
Well, I've always wanted to do something that I love, and this is what I love. And I think Jill, to a certain extent, wanted to do something that she loved.
Right.
But she knew that I wasn't really happy in the car business.
Right.
I was
right.
kind of at the end of I just had enough. So Jill, being the good wife that she is, she started making some phone calls around and called Patriot Fitness,
Yeah.
and asked the owner is he willing to sell. And that was I was still in the business at the time. I was still in the car business at the time, and it wasn't really the right time. We kind of wanted to do it, but we were hesitant. Anytime you're leaving a solid income, and you're going into business, you're kind of scared.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
So then I don't know after I left the car business because I just decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't know what would happen.
Right.
We called again, and still was willing to sell.
Okay.
And it just this is what we love. So
right.
We said to each other, how can we go wrong? We
Yeah.
love it so much, and this is our passion.
Well, and the one thing I did notice when I came over here is almost not just y'all two, it's almost like a family affair with your sister and her kids and your kid. And that's just something I picked up on when I was here for the grand opening, and I thought it was pretty cool to get, everybody's kind of involved
We want it
with
to be a family.
Yeah.
We want it to be a family atmosphere.
Yeah.
We want everybody in here, all of our members, to feel like family as well.
Yeah. So, how long did it take? I mean, once they were willing to sell, I mean, how long did it take to really? What year was it?
It was just this past year.
Okay.
It just took over November 1st. I want to say that it was like, I want to say she spoke to him in August, maybe.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of August.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit before that.
So it was pretty quick.
It was fairly quick.
He makes decisions quick. I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pass up on it. I felt like
Felt it was an opportunity.
I felt it was like it was a great opportunity. It was a turnkey operation. If we would have started one from scratch, it would have cost us a whole hell of a lot more money.
Yeah.
And we already had a base here.
Right.
And we liked the gym. The gym was like the perfect size.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not too big. It's not too small. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You got an opportunity to do what you love.
Have you what's here? Have you added to it? I mean, far as have y'all added anything to it so far?
Yeah, we've added I think about five or six pieces of equipment since we've taken over.
So was the back area there already? I mean, that whole back area?
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's two new pieces back there.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Our leg area, trying to make it,
Yeah.
legs.
Okay. What kind of, I mean, far as the community and everything, far as the support behind it once y'all took it over and got it out there, I mean, has it been a big support far as what y'all are trying to do? Okay. You're gonna lose. You might.
You got all these members that you don't even know.
Right, and you might lose them, and
you don't know what to expect if all of a sudden a new owner comes in.
Right.
I don't know what type of relationship the old owner had with the members.
Right.
And you're just a little scared. So, but I'll tell you what, every single member in here, just unbelievable.
So pretty much the ones that were already here, they've accepted you pretty good as far as
with open.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. We've made so many new friends. And so many great people. We're very fortunate.
I'm trying to. So what? Besides just having the gym, what's your goal for it? I guess down the road. What do you want to try to accomplish with it? I mean, I know it's a place you want to make it feel like family and all that, but do you have you thought anything beyond since y'all took it over? Like what you want to do with it?
Sure. I mean, we have thoughts for sure.
We have grand thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you, we're not saying you're going to do it, but your grand thoughts, what Because I mean, when I see something and I see the potential right off the bat, then my mind gets to thinking about how it could end up. And I have to make myself not do that too much, because if I never reach that, I get mad. But I still have to dream like that. That's the way my head works.
Ideally, okay, so the way the gym is set up here,
Yeah.
we're in a series of three different units.
Okay.
We're in the middle unit.
Okay.
And then there's another business to the left of us, and
Yes.
another business to the right of us.
Right.
Ideally, probably the first thing that we would love to happen is if one of these two businesses were to move out,
right,
we could expand,
yeah,
make it a little bigger, because we do have a large bodybuilding league that
right,
comes in here, and we could use the space.
Yeah.
As far as a posing room, have
right,
room
right,
for maybe have classes for women.
Yeah.
Like
right, right.
different things where we can expand more amenities.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then from there, I mean, Joe and I, we've talked about possibly opening up other locations.
Yeah.
And
Within a certain mile radius, and
sure. But really, we just, initially, we're just trying to focus on making this thing work.
right, right,
Right. And just getting this gym here the best that we can make it.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
No, I just like to ask that because I know people with that have a kind of a somewhat entrepreneurial mindset, because I mean, I just had something else come up, and then and I called Jill about it, about um where all y'all's the equipment's from, and it's a USA built in the U.S. Guy do stuff with fishing that owns a tournament company. He's a fitness guy, and he needed something to do because he sold his tournament company. So I said, "What are you going to do next year?" He's like, "I don't know. I need to do something like you." But he has a fitness program where it's Joe on the go, where they either come to his house or he goes to their house to train them. But he's also had been designing home gyms for some of his clients. And I said, well, let's do that. And he's like, what? I was like, well, you design it, I install it. And I said, I can get us in with architects and all that for people that build new homes. And if they need somebody to design them a home gym, we can get in. He's like, what? I said, Joe, that's the way my mind works. I said, now you need to focus on gyms for 70 and up. Resistant band training for 70 and up. He's like, well, I ain't thought. I said, and once you build it for them, I said, you have the initial, say, I'm put something in your mind. You have the initial training, and then you offer one, you come back in a month to make sure they're doing it right. But if they want somebody once a week, you find some trainers around and say, hey, I hire you to go do that. You like a subcontractor, and say, hey, I can offer this package, this package, this package, this package. He's like, man, I ain't even thought about it. I said, that happened while we were talking. Said, I have a lot of ideas. I have no money to make those ideas happen, but I got them. I got them. But,
my dream would be to franchise it.
yeah, yeah,
Stay small.
yeah, yeah.
Different.
This size and different spots. Yeah,
that would be ideal.
yeah, yeah. But I mean,
cheap to start.
what? No. I've been researching ever since me and Joe talked, and trying. What was crazy is trying to find equipment companies on the East Coast. Most of them are in Minnesota, Chicago, California. I found a couple of things in Alabama, a couple of things in South Carolina, but not like Rogue, not like some of the other big name ones. They're either in Chicago or Illinois, Minnesota, or California. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of, and especially ones that can supply everything plus resistant stuff. You know, my idea is put something on the wall where they can come over and do it without, you know what I'm saying? So since y'all been in the working out industry and everything, what have you seen that's changed? And just different ways, or anything that you've seen that's different than when y'all first started, that is good or bad.
Have you seen anything different?
there's a lot more content out there. Like when I started working out, I mean, you just did it on your own.
A lot more people to show you how to do stuff or whatever. Yeah, that's interesting.
There's so much accessibility.
Yeah.
To how to work out and how to go about,
right.
and do things right and eat right, and that's for sure. But as far as like in the gym, like the equipment, there's really not,
new equipment.
I think like these plate loaded machines.
Yeah.
Made but like hammer strength type.
Yeah, right.
Actually, you take the plates and you put it on the machine.
Okay.
Like this type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Where you load the plates.
So it's kind of like Nautilus, but with plate.
They're like, it's almost like free weights, but
it's
still
mechanical.
So that wasn't around when I was around.
No, it was all free or Nautilus.
Either free weights or Nautilus.
Yeah.
Or dumbbells.
Right.
I think this is more recent, probably in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years where you started seeing more of this.
Because something like that gives you the correct form every time. It gives you pretty much. Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Right. I got you. Yeah, I got you. Right. Yeah, because you got the one bar. Yeah, that's
really changed.
I mean, and what I say industry wise too, the CrossFit stuff. When did that become like a craze type thing? And do y'all do any of that, or y'all just mainly standard?
Years CrossFit has played a bigger part.
Yeah. What is CrossFit for? I mean, don't get me wrong, you're lifting and all that, but you got weight training and then you got CrossFit.
Yeah, I don't know.
CrossFit's more of like keeping your heart rate up.
Yeah.
You might do a lat pull down and then some push ups.
Right.
You're constantly keeping your heart rate up.
Okay.
Where, we train, it's not
right.
safe.
Okay.
That way you can lift heavy, give yourself a break.
Right. Okay. Well, no, I was just curious about that because one of the fishing tournaments, Joe has a CrossFit on the beach, like before the weigh-in. So he has yoga on the beach in the morning. Then they had the paddleboard. It's like one of their biggest paddleboard tournament. So they have that, and then they have CrossFit on the beach before all the weigh-ins of the fish come in. So it's like a big thing. And, him being a fitness guy, he tries to get everybody involved. Let me ask you this. Have you seen, since the new administration has changed and we have a new health secretary, have you seen like an uptick, maybe a little bit in fitness, knowing that he's, RFK Jr. is really into trying to get people to eat right? And I was just curious.
We haven't seen anything really recently. We had an uptick, obviously, at the beginning of the year.
Right. Yeah. I never do the New Year's. Never.
I mean, that's obviously a big month.
Yeah.
But I'd say the last couple of months, really, it's leveled off. Nothing too crazy.
But have you seen more, besides that, have you seen more people thinking more healthy and everything in the last couple of years, maybe? I don't know. I'm just curious.
I tell you, people are way more
conscious of it.
I think diet these days has really, there's been an uptick. That, don't you think? Like, it's like been such a major thing with,
I mean, I started after I went to the doctor 3 years ago. I mean, I've always tried, but I really just concentrated on the whole water thing. I cut that out like 4 years ago. I may have had one Coke in 2 years, So, and I try to, I've cut out a lot of things because the doctor told me to, and then we got into a fight. So we don't. Oh, yeah. So, I come in and she gripes at me for 2 things. I said, well, you didn't even say your cholesterol's disappeared and you've lost weight. And I was like, can I have some positive feedback? But she did try to get me to take Ozempic, and I said, you're crazy. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I'll think about it. Then went and saw a retired nurse and told her what she did. And she goes, don't take it. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah, that's a big controversy.
That's a big controversy.
Yeah.
With us, I think.
Well, and what the retired nurse says, the results that had got back to her was that people that didn't need it, that was taking it, it was deteriorating their muscles. So she said, "What's your sugar?" And I told her, she goes, "Do not take it." She said, "That is really for type 2 people. It's not." But they supposedly have just a weight loss Ozempic. I don't know how what they take. I don't know how that. Supposedly, right. Right. But then you're going to be back. Right. So, yeah, that's why, I mean, one, I wasn't going to, man, I don't put stuff in I mean, the last time I went to the doctor, I was 18 and then I went at 50. That was it. So I'm not going to put stuff in my body that I really don't know. I remember 2000, and 9, 10, I got down to 190.
Wow.
That was way too small. When I look, I feel more comfortable at 220. Now I'm over that. I'm like 255. But even the doctor, when I have my hernia, he goes, "Now look, I need you to lose about 15 pounds, but you hold and I was way higher than that." He goes, "You hold your weight very well." I was like, "Well, that's because I've been working all my life, but I'm always doing something. I'm always staying." Yeah. Yeah. I told my parents I stay this way. That way I won't have anybody knocking on the doors and trying to date me. Because if I get down to 220, it's over. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta stay right here. Yeah. So I stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. That's right. That's right. But, yeah. No, I was saying, but no, I, like how, cause you got a marketing team now and is that really helped as far as the exposure? Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah,
Yeah. You can put, yeah.
it's helped us tremendously because neither one of us are very savvy when it
Yeah.
comes to social media
Yeah.
and advertising. When we took over, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I said we need to hire a marketing company. We need to get
Right.
like right away.
Right. Right.
And get our name out there and just hit social media hard
Yeah.
and Google and that's a major thing.
Yeah.
They've done a great job.
Yeah.
Great job. I mean, it's crazy because we're on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and one of our posts, I just have to say that I gotta plug this in there, but
Yeah.
one of our posts on Instagram, we're at 3.5. Last time I checked, 3.5 million views.
Really.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the post on? Just a video?
And a little controversial, I guess. You'll have to check it out. All you guys that are watching this, make sure you go to the Patriot Fitness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And check it out.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
Just working out.
Yeah. She's a little on the large. She's a little on the large side for a female.
Yeah.
Muscular.
Yeah.
There's
so I don't have a team, but CapCut and Canva is my best friend as far as you find templates, and there's a lot of workout templates, and there's this one girl that there's a template of her everywhere on CapCut as far as where you can plug in like 7 pictures or videos, and it's got good music, whatever, but they promote her on it, and yeah, she's she's well put together. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too much, but she's just and you could tell she does some competitions too, but it's not too drastic. All right, far as the competition that's coming, what does what do you focus on mainly when you got 16 weeks to get ready? What's your workout schedule look like?
It'll be interesting from what I understand.
So you got a trainer that's helping you with this, or
I have a coach.
A coach.
I have a coach. Then I have one of my coaches does train me once a week, and I just do that. It helps me. I was quite a bit lighter back in December. We started eating a lot.
A rice patty.
Yeah, my diet will change.
Now, I mean, far as the 6 days a week, what does that entail? Far as how long do you go for each? Is it broke up in like 3 sessions a day, or?
That's how it's broken down.
I gotcha.
My Sunday is a rest day.
Okay. But cardio in between, right?
Workout.
Yeah. That's interesting. So like when the doctor said I need to lose, I did change how I ate, but still it was more high protein with a bunch of vegetable, put salads or whatever. But I always did a warm up cardio, like 10, 15 minutes, and then I do my workout, and then I do another 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Good.
Is how I did it. And it's amazing. I did it for about a month, and then I got sent out of town again. That's been the problem with me, is trying to find how to take a workout on the road. Because, I mean, the only thing I could do at a hotel gym was basically a couple of them had those in there, which I like, the ellipticals. It's not as bad on your knees at 53. Yeah. But I was in a groove, and I get up there 5 in the morning, do my thing. It was at Planet Fitness. It was at Planet Fitness, and I used to get leaner and stronger. I would always do a circuit. I would like make sure nobody was in the gym, did everything to what I needed, barbells, everything. And I would do 25 seconds, do as many as I could just for 25.
Would you come like 1 o'clock in the morning?
No,
How do you get
late at night at this one place I used to do it. And, but, but I do everything that way. And then I'd rest and then change and then bump it up. It was all nautical, so I could do it quick, but I do that 25 seconds as long as I could do it. Anyway, that's why I used to do crunches when I got down to the 190. That's all I did. I didn't do no workout, no nothing.
Just crunches.
600 crunches a night, 6 days a week. And I would do as many.
That's impressive.
I do as many as my stomach could handle, and then rest for 30 seconds. And I did 3 different types. And then I got 1 pack, but I never got the 6 pack. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I saw 1 pop out. I was like, okay, I got it. So I got the 1 pack. But if somebody's starting out, what's the best kind of workout they could do without having a trainer? Or would it be better to find a place like this? I mean, do y'all have trainers on site?
Yes, we do.
Do y'all offer that like initially to help them if they're brand new to it?
Yeah, we'd absolutely be happy to help anybody.
Yeah,
start out. I think it's really important that to get with somebody that knows what they're doing.
To show them proper.
Yeah, you gotta know proper form. You gotta know somewhat what you're doing. You
All right.
can't just walk into a gym. Somebody new working out is going to be intimidated anyway.
Yeah.
Walking into a gym, not really knowing which way to turn, what to do.
Do you think they should? I'm just throwing questions out. Do you think they ought to start off on the nautical if they've never really done anything, or just opinion? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm a personal trainer myself.
Right.
And I've taken on most of my clients have worked out in the past a little bit.
Right.
They're not like totally green peas.
Right.
But I usually use machines.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Nautilus machines.
Right.
But I'll use
like the new.
I'll use these.
Yeah.
The hammer strike machines. I'll use the TRX bands where you hold on to that, and you can do squats. You can do lunges.
Okay.
You can do body weight stuff. I'll do push-ups, do sit-ups, I'll do pull-ups, all basic stuff to build their strength.
I gotcha.
Before you even go, I'll do some light dumbbell work.
Right.
But I think if you're just starting out, you're probably best to use just the nautical, and then once you're comfortable with that, then add some other things to it.
Yeah.
But get comfortable with the nautical.
One thing, have you in the last few years or whatever, have you seen an uptick more in women working out than guys, or is it kind of this about 50-50? I'm just curious. It's just
a lot of girls have gotten into weight training. It used to just be like yoga,
right. Do some cardio
but now girls, you know, they're starting to realize it's important to lift weights.
Yeah.
Because that helps burn fat.
Yeah.
When you're lifting weights, that burns a lot of calories. You don't have to get used. Like girls,
Right.
don't be afraid of getting too big.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Not unless you're into the training, right? The powerlifting training.
Heavy weight.
You're right. Right.
But if you're just doing a lot of repetitions,
Yeah.
light weight.
Yeah. It's not bad to have a little bump when you flex.
A little bump. Exactly.
You're real strong. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a new shirt. Hashtag.
Hashtag real strong.
Real strong.
So, okay, I mean, we can wind down a little bit. And I know we talked about future stuff, but as far as your competition, to end with that, do you have you already in your mind have expectations of how you think you'll do in it, or you just gonna do what you can to get ready and whatever happens happens, or are you a competitive guy that says I'm going in there to
I feel like I'm one of the most competitive people on this earth.
So you don't do nothing just to do
I'm
it.
not doing it half-assed.
Okay.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
This next 4 months of my life,
Yeah.
I am gonna work so flipping hard. I'm not gonna let anything stop me. It's really a battle against myself.
Right.
But I will say this: I expect to win. I expect to go out there and win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, be in a few different categories, but I expect to bring home some type of medal.
So let me. Do y'all have? Does anybody represent this gym and they're working out? Like for competitions or anything yet, or
No, we haven't really.
is that something that y'all want to do down the road?
I think sure.
Yeah. Well, we like that aspect of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got a gym, and yeah. And I think they were here set up.
Yeah.
Or was that some of your trainers, or was that the?
They're our trainers.
Okay, and what are they called?
Team J's on.
Warrior Aesthetics. Okay.
It's like a huge community.
Yeah.
I think there's. I think the last time I asked, I think there's close to 300 athletes.
Oh, nice. Like in this area or
all over?
Okay.
Florida.
All over Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a future thing that y'all want to kind of accomplish. Have stuff represented out of here.
Yeah, we'd like to. We for sure. We definitely want to be a part of.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere close by. That's the only one that's really close.
Yeah. How many competitions do you know of that happen in Florida every year?
There's a ton.
Different categories and stuff. So what categories are you competing in?
Well, for sure, the one that I know I'm going to be doing is men's physique.
Okay.
Board shorts, like the long bands.
Okay.
And then possibly, depending on what my coach says, if my legs are big enough and I get the posing down, then I'll do classic bodybuilding.
Okay.
Which is 4 different poses.
That's back, legs,
side.
Okay.
That's a Speedo.
Yeah. Well, start off with the board shorts to see what happens. Oh yeah, you're like, yeah. I mean, you're in it to win it. So yeah. Well, look, I appreciate y'all letting me come over, hearing a little bit about you. Man, all I know from you was through my sister and Jill talking. So really didn't know you. Got to meet you at the grand opening, and I was like, you know what? Let's just hear your story and how you came about doing this. And that's why I wanted to do it.
It's been great having you and getting to know you a little bit too. Yeah. Because I really don't know you all that well.
Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Thanks for it.
And
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And we'll do it again maybe after your competition. I'm gonna be a little bit more with a lot of cameras.
Maybe we could do it maybe a week before. See how crabby I am.
Can you have your dad pray for me?
Yes. We can just do the 30-minute cast for that one.
Whatever you want, before or after.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see how you how everything worked out for you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I might not want to do after. He might be mad. We might let it go a month or so after, and then not right after. So yeah, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Good luck to y'all with all this.
Thanks a lot, Warren.
We'll go from there.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks again.